This podcast is supported by patrons. You can find a full list of them in the description of this episode. Hello, my listeners of Good Morning BSS World. This is Wiktor, Doktor, connecting with you from Poland, and today I am connecting with Berlin, with Germany, although we will focus on the activity of the company who is a member of IT Ukraine Association in Ukraine. How to build this bridge and what this company is, we will talk together with Roger Sturm. Hi, Roger. How are you?
Very well. Thank you, Victor. Pleasure being with you, and welcome all listeners.
Thank you very much for accepting this invitation. And just to make the proper introduction, just tell our audience who you are.
I once heard a movie that was from 007, and it was James Bond who always introduced himself as Bond, James Bond. And ever since then, I have introduced myself as Sturm, Roger Sturm. I'm the general manager of Edvantis GmbH, based in Berlin, as you said, Victor. I've been with Edvantis since 2015 and have been the general manager of Edvantis GmbH, which is the limited liability company in Germany, since 2017. Previously, I was in banking. I was the treasurer of Daimler Chrysler. I was a private banker in a 300-year-old private banking company. So I have a wide range of experience. And one aspect that I am active in is in the healthcare sector, where I am a member of the board and founding of what's called the Healthcare City Berlin, Gesundheitsstadt Berlin. So I have a broad range of experience in the IT sector, in finance, and also in the health IT sector.
And you're originally German?
I am originally from the United States of America. So born in South Carolina, which is, for those who are tuning in, the map behind me is of Charleston, South Carolina. They say that's where the Ashley and the Cooper River join to form the Atlantic Ocean. I had exposure to Germany at early age and decided, after having studied political science, to come over and spend a year in Germany, and that wound up being several years, as you can see from my gray hair, going on past 40 years, I guess, by now.
That's a very, very nice history, because usually those are Germans or the Europeans who travel abroad to US to do some business, to build the relationships and so on and so on. And you are the example of the opposite way. So like American guy who came to Europe and now runs the business in here.
I am the anti-brain drain, so to speak. Yes, it's true. Because of the deep capital markets in the US and because of the entrepreneurial zeal, because of the knowledgeable investors, we do find that a lot of the best and brightest Germans do try to seek their fortune in America. And there's no wonder that they do so. But there's an expression in German that says, if you want to be different, if you want to be successful, make yourself rare, make yourself scarce, do things that are different. And so that's kind of what I did. And as so much in life, you can't plan. You can't plan. You do things for 1 year, and then one step leads to the other, and gee whiz, all of a sudden you've had a whole lifetime and are happy in a foreign country like Germany.
Absolutely, especially now in such a dynamic times when they do change from year to year. Okay, Roger, so you are from States. Now you are in Berlin, but we will start our talk focusing a little bit on Ukraine, because your company is also a member of IT Ukraine Association. I'm always starting the talks with companies who are the members of IT Ukraine Association about their subjective view of the current status of how does IT industry look like nowadays in Ukraine. So what's your view on that?
Well, I won't surprise your listeners by saying that the situation is difficult in Ukraine in general, but it's remarkable how determined the Ukrainian developers and managers are to thrive in this difficult situation. There are 200,000 developers in Romania, over 300,000 in Ukraine. I understand 430,000 or so in Poland. So Ukraine ranks second when it comes to the development capacity that is available. And what we recognize is how important the IT sector is to the general economy at large in the Ukraine. Whereas traditional industries such as steel and mining have been deeply affected by the Russian aggression, the area of IT remains a source of foreign exchange and remains a privileged area of, uh, of economic development within Ukraine. So it's remarkable the feedback that I get from our clients when they report to me on how Ukrainian developers are providing their service to them in spite of the difficulties that they're facing day to day, in spite of occasional power outages. The level, quality of support and expertise is just impressive.
Thank you very much for this update. And now we are going to focus on your yard, on Edvantis. Is it German company?
Uh, German, no. We were formed nearly 20 years ago in Lviv, Ukraine, with a true visionary and entrepreneur. We now have become a global software engineering company that's focused on helping companies stay competitive in a digital world. We provide technical expertise. We provide uh, solutions to help our clients innovate, develop their products faster, and make the most out of the data that they have. And whereas maybe 20 years ago we were providing technical expertise and professional talent, now our focus is more and more on the area of digital transformation and data science as our world changes and moves into a artificial intelligence driven environment.
So all started in Lviv. Is Lviv the only Ukrainian city where the company is located?
That's the prime location. Yes, of course, we have people working remotely, but by and large, most of our people, and those are the assets that we have, the people who work for us either remotely or going up and down every day in the elevator of our offices. Most are in Lviv. We have a strong workforce also based in Czechia and spread throughout Poland. And of these 400 or so employees, we also draw on some who are based remotely in Great Britain, in Romania. So we're truly a global company that draws on a talent pool worldwide.
And you are in Berlin, so I can expect that also some of the teams are based in Germany, aren't they?
Well, in fact, the founder of the company is based in Germany as well. He has now moved. We're going to talk about digital transformation later on, I'm sure. And like so many companies, that start out that are entrepreneurial driven, at some point, the entrepreneurs recognize that new structures are needed to create growth and go on into the next phase. And so that's exactly what our founder recognized was necessary and actually implemented by transforming our own company by gaining additional professional input in management. And in terms of the workforce, the developers, the answer would be by and large, our developers are not in the United States or not in Germany. That has to do with the reasons of costs, because we leverage the benefits of having strong, merit-oriented, talented developers in countries where the costs of living are not quite as high as the markets we serve.
And talking about the markets you serve, so on which ones do you focus? Is it mainly US and Germany, for example, which was mentioned here, or maybe wider area?
Well, we do have a wider area of clients, but indeed 80% of our sales are generated in North America, largely the United States of America. Germany is very important, but we also have projects even as far afield as Mexico. But for all practical purposes, America and the German-speaking regions and Sweden form a major core of our business.
Oh, I can believe the Nordics might be very attractive when it comes to the service provisioning.
Well, indeed, and we find that they're quite open to the talent pool that we're able to offer them. In fact, we've played a key role in the Scandinavian local transport, public transport, by offering solutions which provide the conductors walking around. Checking fares, generating as much performance out of the gadgets that they use, and also providing modern ticketing systems to clients. And we've been working for a company called Module Systems for years and years now, just on this type of solution. So have a strong love of Sweden as well. And as always in love, we hope it's mutual.
That would be good to have, especially that this is already some kind of a connection between those markets. You mentioned the services and the solutions for the public transportation, the tickets and so on, ticketing and so on and so on. And how about the other solutions? Are there any preferable industries where you are present at?
Well, I mentioned the transportation industry. That would include logistics. We have one company where we have 140 developers working on projects in the area of logistics using our development skills or expertise, but also data science. But uh, another important industry is the software, the high-tech industry. One story I'd like to tell is something that most people will be aware of from having had to wait in airports in the security section. One of our clients is Smith's Detection that we served. Smith's Detection is the company that provides the gadgets that allow inspection of the bags when they're put on the conveyor belts, and you put your hands up high and you hear the of the doors closing in front of you. We have worked and helped develop the image recognition solutions of this market leader, Smith's Detection. So, a wide range of expertise, including fintech, payments, have a lot of expertise in the area of payment applications, real estate. We've worked for one company, KPCIMS, for easily 10 years, and have now moved on from having provided initial web crawling solutions to now high level artificial intelligence solutions. And an area that's dear to my heart is the health tech, health IT area, where we also have a wide range of clients, including a company at the forefront in Germany of family practice administration solutions, and a place with a company that offers open architecture so that data from devices from Biotronic, for instance, can flow freely into the doctor's information systems, and thereby providing the doctors with all sorts of opportunities for monitoring their patients in healthcare. So, um, so what is the common level of this? We have expertise in a wide range of sectors, but it comes to the aspect of workflows and data provision and getting the most out of the data that companies generate.
I've been to a web summit this year in Lisbon, and health tech actually was one of the most visible areas where the startups who were present over there they were sharing their solutions to this industry, as well as medtech and as well as the pharma tech. So it looks like you are in a trend.
I think that is a key area. it's an area where there still will be investment. There's an area which is crying for innovation and improvements where you can actually generate more benefits at a lower cost by digitalizing services, and also by implementing solutions using artificial intelligence. I had a psychotherapist, not mine, by the way, tell me this past week that he's afraid that he's going to be out of work someday because these avatars that are now developed using artificial intelligence, they just never get tired of asking how you doing. They just never get in a bad mood, and they're so warm, and unfortunately they're not cuddly, but they have a nice soothing voice and they look so nice on the screen, and they're available 24 hours a day, and they're cheap. They're cheap. So the payers only have to implement this solution, and they don't have to pay somebody $400 an hour for consulting. So yes, there are a wide range of opportunities, particularly in the healthcare sector, and Edvantis is there to help.
I believe you can even choose the type of voice you can get from such psychotherapist. Yeah.
Uh, Not only female, not only male. Would a German accent be nice, or should it be an American accent? What would you like?
Yeah, this is a huge change in when it comes to the people communication, yeah, especially in the customer service area where people are talking to everyone all around the world about what any type of services or products and so on and so on. So this is hugely changing the world. You mentioned that your company started 20 years ago in Lviv. So now we are in already after those 20 years. And how did the company change within this time? Did you notice some kind of a big milestones within this time, and what are the next ones?
Well, there has been dramatic change over time. Initially, we started in a market. We were able to provide talent at a remarkably inexpensive price. So it wasn't hard to sell way back when you just say, we have talented engineers available at such and such a price per hour. And wouldn't you be interested? And of course, they were interested. So as the market has shifted to becoming more uh, international, more of a worldwide market with procurement available, then the developers, whom we, by the way, uh, link their salaries to the US dollar or to the euro, they've become also um, uh, up to the international pay scale levels as well. So we can't compete on price. Where we compete is on value and on our philosophy and on our motivation to generate results for our clients, not just billable hours. So that's changed remarkably. Um, there's what has not changed is the strong quality of education in Eastern Europe, in Ukraine. I think maybe that's a historic development out of the Soviet age where mathematics, science were emphasized from the very start. And I think there's also an element of philosophy, of cultural aspect where Ukrainians tend to be, I find, very problem solving oriented. You know, they like to get down into the brass tacks and solve the solutions. Um, uh, and these are things that lend themselves well to providing skilled professional advice or technological expertise. How has the company changed in the meantime? I mentioned that our founder, must be 4 years ago, decided that it was time to bring new life into the organization. And he was able to find a successful team that had grown other businesses in outsourcing by 40% a year. And this professional approach has had its positive impact on Edvantis as well. In the past 3 years, we've had revenue growth of over 109%, and in a most difficult environment. So we're doing something right. And we do something right by focusing on the needs of our clients first. The second most important aspect that we have is the development personnel, the professionals in our organization. Um, and thirdly, it's the owners. But if we serve the interests of our clients first, look after our people second, then the owners will benefit handsomely, um, as they've done of late. And finally, of course, the society in large in which we operate, that's very important to us. We pay taxes, we volunteer, we are charitable, and we do so much. Maybe I shouldn't emphasize the military side, but we do so much. Some of my friends say, one friend told me he knows how much he earns. He knows what his family needs to get by, and the difference between that he donates to the war effort. So there's a patriotic zeal that runs through our company as well.
We are at the very end of 2024 today, where we are when we
Yes.
are recording it. So the new year opens within the next 2 3 weeks. Any big plans for the next year?
We will continue to invest in AI and data science as we see that as being a cornerstone of digital transformation. That's an area that we want to work on closely. We were talking about healthcare. We can help companies with our expertise in data science when it comes to, for instance, the analysis of next generation sequencing data. Um, we can help companies, for instance, in the pharmaceutical sector, which are so often structured like silos, with data silos, with product managers who are zealous of their own data, for their own control. We can help the management of these companies, use artificial intelligence to analyze and predict, improve their processes, generate higher returns. We want to be there for the people who are concerned about the new developments in artificial intelligence. It's kind of scary what's going to happen. Who knows what's going to happen? But we have teams that are already in the process of digitally transforming our own company using the tools of artificial intelligence. And this kind of expertise is exactly what we want to share with our clients.
The last but not least question. We already know where you are from, how long the company is on the market, what are your areas of expertise. We even know in which countries you have your physical and remote teams. But people love numbers. How big is the company when it comes to the number of people who you employ or who you work with? You mentioned already that for one of the projects you have 140 people who are being assigned to this, but I can imagine that the company is much bigger than that.
It is much bigger than that, but it would certainly hurt if we would ever lose their business. We've got 400 professionals at large. In 2023 alone, we were able to increase our workforce by 20%. So things are going well at Edvantis, and may they continue. May they continue this year and next and thereafter.
So I will keep my fingers crossed for this growth. But to let the people know more about your business, where would you direct them? Where to find more information about Edvantis?
Oh, thanks for asking that. We have an active website. Edvantis is spelled with an E. It starts with an E. Edvantis, Edvantis.com. And you can send us an email, if not to Roger Sturm, then to engagement@edvantis.com. And you will be surprised at how quickly we turn around with that, because we want to learn more about your requirements, your business needs, and act upon them as soon as we possibly can.
I wouldn't be surprised that being a big IT company, the answers are actually going to be run also by some kind of an AI tool behind that.
Well, not yet. Not yet. You can still expect some human involvement in all the activities that we have. Uh, but perhaps if you'd like to hear a nice Ukrainian accent, we could provide that, or a nice Polish accent, or even American accents.
And the American accent and the Polish accent, our audience could hear within this podcast today. So we are not Ukrainian nice ladies with a nice Ukrainian accent, but two gentlemen connecting from Berlin and from Warsaw to deliver you some nice content about Edvantis company. Roger, it was a pleasure to talk to you. Thank you very much for today.
Pleasure was all mine, Victor, and I hope to see you again soon. And I hope that your viewers will have found this worthwhile, and hopefully we'll speak to each other again sometime soon.
I do look very much forward to that. Once you are in Warsaw, you are very welcome just to give me a shout and we can just have a chat live, not necessarily via the video link.
It'd be wonderful. All the best, Victor.
Thank you.